and obstacle find none of membrane, joint, or limb, exclusive bars. Easier than air with air if spirits embrace. Total we mix, union of pure with pure desiring. Nor restrained conveyance need as flesh to mix with flesh, or soul with soul. But I can now no more. The parting sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey sets.
No more of talk of God or angel guest with man, as with his friend familiar, used to sit indulgent, and with him partake rural repast, permitting him the while venial discourse unblamed. I now must change those notes to tragic, foul distrust, and breach disloyal on the part of man, anger and just rebuke, and judgment given that brought into this world a world of woe, sin and her shadow death, and misery death's harbinger. Sad task. Yet, argument not less, but more heroic than the wrath of stern Achilles on his foe pursued thrice fugitive about Troy wall, or rage of Turnus for Lavinia disespoused. If answerable style I can obtain of my celestial patroness, who deigns her nightly visitation unimplored, and dictates to me slumbering, or inspires easy my unpremeditated verse, since first this subject for heroic song pleased me, long choosing and beginning late. Not sedulous by nature to indict wars, hitherto the only argument heroic deemed, chief mastery to dissect with long and tedious havoc, fabled knights and battles feigned, the better fortitude of patience and heroic martyrdom unsung, or to describe races, or games, or tilting furniture, and blazoned shields. Me of these nor skilled, nor studious. Higher argument remains, sufficient of itself to raise great fame, unless an age too late, or cold climate, or years damp my intended wing depressed, and much they may, if all be mine, not hers, who brings it nightly to my ear.
Well may we labor still to dress this garden, still to tend plant, herb, fruit, and flower, our pleasant task enjoined. But till more hands aid us, the work under our labor grows. Let us divide our labor, thou where choice leads thee, or where most needs, whether to wind the woodbine round the arbor, or direct the clasping ivy where to climb. While I in yonder spring of roses, intermixed with myrtle, find what to redress till noon. But while so near each other thus all day, what wondering looks intervene, or smiles, or object new casual discourse draw upon, which intermits our days, work brought to little, though begun early, and the hour of supper comes unearned.
Well hast thou motion, well thy thoughts employed, but not so strictly hath our Lord imposed labor on us, as to debar us when we need refreshment, whether food or talk between, which are of brute denied and are of love of food. Love not the lowest end of human life. But if much converse perhaps thee satiate, To short absence I could yield for. Solitude sometimes is best society. Short retirement urges sweet return. But other doubts possess me, lest harm befall thee, severed from me. For thou knowest what hath been warned us, what malicious foe, envying our happiness, and of his own despairing seeks to work us woe and shame.
That such an enemy we have who seeks our ruin, both by thee informed and from the parting angel overheard. But that thou shouldst my firmness therefore doubt, to God or thee, because we have a foe made tempted, I expected not to hear. His fraud is then thy fear, which plain infers thy equal fear that my firm faith and love can by his fraud be shaken or seduced. Thoughts which how found they harbor in thy breast, Adam? Misthought of her to thee so dear.
Firm we subsist, yet possible to swerve, for reason not impossibly may meet some specious object by the foe suborned, and fall into deception unaware, not keeping strictest watch as she was warned. Seek not temptation then, which to avoid were better. And most likely, if from me thou sever not, trial will come unsought. But if thou think the trial unsought will find us both secure, thou seemst. Go, for thy stay not free absents thee more. Go, in thy native innocence, rely on what thou hast of virtue, some in all. God towards thee hath done his part, do thine.
With thy permission then, and thus forewarned, chiefly by what thine own last reasoning words touched on me, that our trial when least sought may find us both perhaps far less prepared.
Whither have ye led me? With what sweet compulsion thus transported to forget what hither brought us? Hate, not love, nor hope of paradise for hell, nor hope here to taste of pleasure, but all pleasure to destroy, save what is in destroying. Other joy to me is lost. And let me not pass occasion which now smiles. Behold alone the woman, opportune to all attempts. She fair, divinely fair, fit love for gods. Not terrible, though terror be in love and beauty. Not approached by stronger hate, hate stronger, but under shoe of love well feigned, the way which to her ruin
now I tend. Wonder not, sovereign creature, if perhaps thou canst, who art so wonder, much less on thy looks, the heaven of mildness, with disdain, displeased that I approach thee thus and gaze? Thee all things living gaze on, all things thine by gift and thy celestial beauty adore. Who sees thee? And what is one? Who shouldst be seen? A goddess among gods, adored and served by angels numberless, thy daily train.
What may this mean? Language of man pronounced by tongue of beast, and human sense expressed. Thee, serpent, subtlest beast of all the field I knew, but not with human voice endued. How camest thou speakable of me, and how to me so friendly grown above the rest of brutal kind that daily are in sight?
Empress of this fair world, resplendent Eve, easy to me it is to tell thee all. I was at first as other beasts that grazed the trodden herb of abject thoughts and low, as was my sex, nor aught but food discerned or sex, and apprehended nothing high. till on a day, roving the field, I chanced a goodly tree, far distant to behold, loaded with fruit of fairest colors mixed. Amid the tree now got, where plenty hung, tempting so nigh to pluck and eat my fill. Sated at length, ere long I might perceive strange alteration in me, to degree of reason in my inward powers and speech. Thenceforth to speculations high or deep I turned my inward thoughts, and with capacious mind considered all things visible in heaven, or earth, or middle, all things fair and good. But all that fair and good in thy divine beauty, in thy beauty's heavenly ray, united I beheld, no fair to thine equivalent or second, which compelled me thus, though importune perhaps, to come and gaze and worship thee of right declared, sovereign of creatures, universal Dame.
Serpent, thy overpraising leaves in doubt the virtue of that fruit in thee first proved. But say, where grows the tree? From hence how far? For many are the trees of God that grow in paradise and various, yet unknown to us. In such abundance lies our choice, as lays a greater store of fruit untouched. Serpent, we might have spared our coming hither. Fruitless to me, though fruit be here to excess, the credit of his virtue rests with thee. Wondrous indeed is cause of such effect, but of this tree we may not taste nor touch. God so commanded and left that command.
Indeed, hath God then said that of the fruit of all these garden trees ye shall not eat, yet lords declared of all in earth or air? Queen of this universe, do not believe those rigid threats of death. Ye shall not die. How should ye? By the fruit? It gives thee life to knowledge. By the threatener? Look on me, me who have both touched and tasted, and yet both live, and life more perfect have attained than fate meant, by venturing higher than my lot. Shall that be shut to man, which to the beast is open? Or will God incense his petty ire for such a petty trespass, and rather not praise your virtue, which the pain of death denounced, whatever thing death may be, deterring not from achieving what might lead to happier life, the knowledge of good and evil? Why then was this forbid? Why but to keep ye low? Why but to awe? Why but to keep ye low and ignorant his worshippers? He knows that in the days ye eat thereof, your eyes that seem so clear, yet are but dim, shall then be opened and cleared, and ye shall be as gods. Caused as importune need of this fair fruit, Goddess humane, reach then and freely taste.
Great are thy virtues, doubtless best